Okay, welcome. In today's video, I'll show you how to create smoke in DaVinci Resolve using just mainly a couple of nodes. So we're going to use Fusion to do this. So yeah, so let's start off by adding a new Fusion composition. Right click, new Fusion composition. I'll just call this smoke, and I'll just hit create. And I'll just drag this onto my timeline. And I'll just select that, click on the Fusion page. So if you're familiar with Fusion, then this might make sense. Or else let me just give a quick overview on what this is. Media out is basically your output node, what you're gonna see inside your edit page here. So whatever you connect up to the media out node, you're gonna see that in your edit page. So yeah. So the first node we're gonna add is a background node. So I can just come up here, click and drag that, and we can hook this up to our media out node. So this is just a solid background layer. One thing I'm going to do to this is just dial down the alpha of this. So this is completely transparent. So if you want to add your smoke to your VFX shot or something like that, then it will be transparent. It will not be this weird black background. Next, we can add the main node, which is the fractal or the fast noise node. So this is basically the main node which we're going to generate the smoke with, and just merge it up with the background node by just clicking and dragging this box here onto this one, and just drop a merge node there, and boom, you can see we have some weird thing. Now this is basically how we're going to generate our smoke. So what you can do here is dial your detail down, your contrast slightly up, brightness slightly up, and just kind of tweak the settings to kind of what you want, like that probably. And mainly what we want to control is the scale here. So the larger your scale, the more noise or the more smoke in our case you will have. So one thing I want to do is uncheck lock XYZ, so it's random scale, not uniform. Now once I do that, this thing goes all crazy, so I'll just dial my X scale down and my Y scale up, something like that. Something like that. And now we can change our seeth rate to kind of get this little more kind of variation in our smoke. And the seeth rate is what is the value it will change per frame, because now if I just play this with my spacebar key, it's just blank, nothing is happening. So the seeth rate will change how much the noise changes per frame. So I can just slightly dial that up, and if I play that, my noise changes every frame. That's nice. So now what I can do is actually make the noise move from a point like this to a point there. So to do that, we're going to keyframe some of these values here. Mainly what we want to keyframe is the center X and Y of the noise. So I'll just click this button here to add a keyframe. Make sure you're on frame 0. Click this button here to add a keyframe. Go up to something like frame 50. Or wait a second, just come up to frame 0 and say drag your noise down here. There we go. Now go to frame 50 or something like that, click on the keyframe button again, and just drag this to something around here. Go to something like frame 83 or something like that, keyframe that again, and just drag that like that. Okay, can be any path you want. So if I just play that back, see our noise moves, and with the seeth rate, it feels like it's, you know, we're getting there. So just probably get the seeth rate slightly more up, so it just is a little more fast. But now for the main part where we actually don't we control how much of the smoke we can actually see. So to do that, we're going to use a mask. So I'm just going to drag this rectangle tool here down into the node, and I can just connect this up to my face noise. And now we can move the rectangle around to actually control how much noise we can see. So if I just deselect the node, you can see now we can only see this part of the noise. Now there's a problem. The edges of this are extremely crisp. They're very flat, and it does not look good. It's very harsh. So to fix that, just grab your rectangle node and you see the soft edge value up here. Just increase that. And you want to increase that quite a lot, maybe all the way up, so that you actually get something that looks like smoke. Something like that. Okay. So now what I can do is animate the rectangle so it moves from here to there. So I'm going to set a keyframe on its center. I'm going to go all the way up to something like 50, where I set the keyframe for that, and probably just move that along here. And I'm going to go all the way up to something like 83. It can be anything you want. And just move that up there. Okay, so let's try putting that. And just deselect the node. You can see we have some slowly moving smoke. So you can control the value of this by, changing the frame rate of your project, whatever you want. But now you can actually make your smoke expand or something like that. So I can grab my rectangle tool again and keyframe the width and the height, and probably jump up to keyframe 50, and probably keyframe both of these again, and probably just increase this slightly more, go up to 82, and keyframe these again, and just make it random. Like that. Okay. So probably when it goes up to something like 90, you can keyframe the center here and just move that out of the frame so it actually goes away. It doesn't matter because we're going to be anyways controlling the opacity, but yeah, just in case. So if you play that back, just deselect the node. Deselect the node so we don't get the box. So yeah, we get this slowly moving smoke. So yep. Now what you can do is control its opacity. So I'm going to come back to my edit page, grab my fusion composition, and come down to opacity. And what I'm going to do is just decrease that and just keyframe that. It can be at something like 2739. I'm going to play that. Let's see. So let's just try playing that again. There we go. Now you can see our smoke is moving. So let it just calculate these parts yet. So one thing that I want to do with the opacity is just come right down to my almost my last frame and just keyframe that and just dial that way low, something like 6.8. So keyframe that. Did I keyframe the opacity? I'm just gonna dial that up. So it's gonna slowly fade away. Okay. 6.8. Previous frame. There we go. So now I can just play that. It's fully calculated. Just gonna play like that. Okay. So now just go around and just play with your settings if you want. Just kind of make it less detailed, maybe, or something like that. Just dial the contrast slightly up, brightness down, play with the seeth of it. come back here, see how it's going. It's not calculated yet, so if it's red, it's not calculated, so it's gonna play extremely slowly, or just gonna pause in between. Slow, so just let it become blue. If it's blue, it's fully calculated. So yeah, just wait for it to become blue. But if you want, you can make this rectangle into an ellipse, circle. Okay, and it's basically going to carry the same animation data, same soft edges, but instead it's going to be this circle. And just gonna make it slightly smaller. But yeah, you can make it anything really you want. So yeah, let's go up there. So I'll just try going back to my edit page, and boom, it's all red. But yeah, that's essentially how you create some easy smoke effects in DaVinci Resolve 17. So this is the result that we got after this video. So make sure to subscribe and hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. And yeah, I'll see you there.